Yeah, please.
Okay, great, sir. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to yet another lovely session today with this Fashion Vogue Symposium. Before we start, let's have some data of registrations by Ms. Divya.
Good evening to all. And we have, as of now, 510 registrations joining from various parts of colleges, from various parts of industries with us. A few design houses are there, and we have a lot of students listening to you, Ms. Reshma, and teaching professionals as well. A lot of teaching professionals would be there, and a lot of students would be there. So around more than 50% of them would be students. So they are joining us from various colleges like Acharya, like Garden City College. Then we have students from Ramaya, and of course our very own college, Vogue and Dr. Karyappa. And we have industrialists joining in from Aditya, from from various other industries and design houses, and other teaching professionals like assistant professors and HODs too. Over to Ms. Shweta.
Thank you, Divya. So 510 registrations is huge. Numbers.
Everybody wants to know like how to come and design.
Exactly.
Sure, yeah, nice.
So I'll just quote Peter Drucker. He's written, "The best way to predict a future is to create it." And just to take this saga forward, I present to you Ms. Reshma Kuni. Reshma is best known as celebrity fashion designer in South India. She's worked and designed for various Bollywood celebrities, as well as South Indian celebrities like Bipasha, Tamanna, Pooja, Prachi, Mahima, lot many. Okay. So many celebrities have been spotted in her collections at various red carpet events, international award shows like Filmfare, IFA, SIFA, etc. So she's participated in various fashion weeks in India as well, also in international like Lakme Fashion Week, Dubai Fashion Week, Bangalore Fashion Week, Hyderabad Fashion Week, oh many more. Okay, so she's the owner of two brands, Reshma Kuni Couture and Becoming. Recently, she was the first designer to come up with printed fabric masks in India during COVID-19, as was featured for her work in Times Now, Doordarshan, and many news channels and publications. So I think, Reshma, many people looking forward to you. I'll not waste much of my time. Pass on the screen to you. You can start.
Hi guys. I hope everyone is doing good, and I'm happy so many people of you have joined to listen to me. So I will start like from how I started my journey in fashion designing. Like almost 10 years back, I was someone like y'all sitting at, didn't know what to do. I just had the thing for designing, you know. I was always into fashion right from my school days. And I used to go through fashion magazines and everything. And I'm sure when people are creative, it is there within them, inside them. And I totally believe that. So it is not like formal education can only push you to become a designer, but the creativity has to be inside you. So it started like I joined the institute and started from there. And within 3 months there was a fashion a Maharashtra state level fashion competition. I participated in that, and after 6 months the show was there. So I stood first for the Indo-Western category throughout Maharashtra. And that's how it just started. My journey started right from there. Like there were magazines like Femina, Women's Era, Doordarshan, everybody covered me, like, you know. So it was like a big boost that time. And there was this international design house called Gimo France. They were planning to launch a Indian wear collection, like not Indian wear, Indo-Western kind of a thing, which has Western wear having Indian touches, you know. So they called me to join as an intern for them for 3 months. They surfed it on the web and they found me, like, you know, they wanted somebody who can like help them with the collection with the Indian way. And they thought like, why not take a student from India? And that's how I was called internationally to do a 2 month internship with them. And it just picked up from there. And the buyers, they liked my work so much that they offered me a job right there with Gino France. It's a Betir group. It's like how Shoppers Stop is there in India, or Central is there. They have 1,500 stores across Europe. I joined them as a junior designer. Like initially, my initial days went in cutting swatches. So people, whoever, like basically all the students, they think the moment they pass out from an institute, they're going to become a very big name, you know. And it is not like that. To be honest, it is not like that. It is the hard work which counts in, you know. When they said junior designer, I thought like I'm just going to start with my sketching and I'll just start. And then eventually they had put me in a room where there were so many fabric swatches, and for 1 month I realized I was only cutting swatches and pasting them, you know. And we used to get fabrics from all over the world. So that was one way I got a very good knowledge of fabrics. And it started, the journey just started from there. And then I started traveling to places like Hong Kong, China, Indonesia to make the collection. We make thematic collection like every 3 months we have to come up with a range, like, okay. So and my job was travel across the globe, source the right supplier, get the right merchandise, and get the right design on place. So I used to work with all the senior buyers and everything. And it started like, so my fabric knowledge just became like, you know, too good from there. And the design knowledge also, because being in a place where they have 1,500 stores, they were into all kind of garments, like you say blazers, you say denims, you say knitwear, you say sportswear, so everything was there. So that gave me a big boost for my career, like, you know. And there, then the junior buyer, then the senior buyer resigned, and that's how they made me a women's wear buyer over there. And I started working with brands like Billabong Europe, then other brands, and means lots of brands. I have a very huge knowledge about all the brands. Like I worked with Gimo France, I worked with Billabong Europe, I worked with Mac and Jack Kenzie before I shifted my base to India. So India happened like there was recession here, and my brother-in-law wanted to start a kids wear brand, and he just called me for a month to help him with that. And eventually I came here and he said, why don't you start a brand here and see how it goes? I didn't know how it will go. So I just made a small line of collection, and that's how I did my first show. That was Bangalore Fashion Week in 2010 or something. And it just became an instant hit. There were people, like all the press, they started covering me and everything. They said, oh, it's very international and very different, but we don't know how it will be accepted in the Indian market. But then later I saw there were a lot of actresses who started showing interest in the collection and everything, and it just started off, my career just started off from there. And luckily I should say, there was a buyer from Future Group who was watching the show that day, and she came up with the idea. She called me after a month and she was like, Reshma, why don't you come over to the office? I went to their office and they were like, why don't you design a range for us? You know, you launch a brand and we will support you. And I was like, I didn't know what to do that time. So I said, okay, but I don't have too much of, they said, no, you just support, you just design and we will try to promote the brand. And that's how my first label came up, like Barcode Design. And it just went like as an instant hit in the ethnic wear market. And later I upgraded it to Becoming because of the label trademark issues. And last 2 years back, I came up with a brand called Becoming, which retails across Future Group in India, and which is more about economical clothes for the masses. And Reshma Guni Couture, I should just say that I've never done PR for myself. I've never gone to the press or anything, and it just clicked off, like show after show, show after show. So it's very important for everyone, I feel, that you should come up with a nice collection. And once, if your collection is good and if your customer base is formed, they are the people who are going to promote you. You don't need anybody. If you're good at your work, it's just going to take you to places. You just have to be creative. You have to keep coming up with new things and new idea. Instead of copying people, it's better to come up with your own new product and everything. I feel that. And basically, now I will talk to you like how to be a professional designer. Like how I started. My idea was, first you have to come up with the thing that what you really want to do for yourself. When you are studying in your 3 years or your 4 years degree or diploma, you will realize your strength there. Like, what is my actual strength? Like, my actual strength was like, when I started with one tailor and one machine, I felt like it was like a boutique system, which was really not an interesting thing for me. I just did it for 1 year, 2 years, and I felt this is not, I don't want to attend customers much. I want to make it like a brand. I want to make Reshma Kuni as a brand, which people all over India should wear the brand, and even becoming, which should be accessible even for the middle class. So I just came up with the idea that I want to go to the manufacturing unit. I want a brand name. I just don't want to be like a boutique designer. So that's where I realized my strength. So you all have to realize your strength. Some people can be good in costume designing. Some people can be good in, couture. Some people can be good in like ready to wear. So you really need to come up with like what is your real strength. You have to focus on that. Okay. And like I have done 2 movies. I had done one movie, costume designing. That was my first Tamil movie, which was Sudukavam, and I was nominated as the best costume designer for that. And I had done one song for Bipasha Basu uh, in a Bollywood movie, and I had done Life Ishtinu movie costume designing for audio. And but I realized I really don't want to get into costume designing, because I want to make it more like people, everybody should wear it. So I was not that kind of person who really wanted to do a lot of costume. So I wanted to make something where my design is reflected, and I just went on doing that. So that is how you have to realize what your inner potential is. And I feel that is what, everybody and all the professors and all the teachers need to help the student in finding out what they are good in. Like, see, everybody wants to become a designer, because designer, like, it has lots of fame and everything. So everybody want to get into that. But some people, they might be good in different aspects. Some people, when they do designing, they realize, no, we are good in merchandising. So that's how, or product development. So whatever is your inner strength, just focus on that, guys. Just don't get into everything that comes on your way. You will realize your inner strength as and when you keep on doing your work. So you please focus on that. That is my first thing what I should tell. And later, secondly, what I will advise you guys is, don't concentrate on just like, the moment I come out, I'll be a very big name. No, it doesn't happen. It's all the hard work which counts. It took me 10 years to be where I am today. Today, like, everybody wants to wear my costumes, like Bollywood celebrities and everybody. They like adorning my costume, because they have to come to you. If you're good at your work, they will come to you. And that's what everybody should do. And institute can just make you, groom you, drill you and all that, but eventually it is just you who is going to make it up, in the market. So that's what it is. So now, one thing I will tell everybody, that see, when an institute teaches you, they will just teach you the basics and all that, and they will just make you ready to face the world. But it is like, the moment you get out of an institute, please take up an internship or join a brand which you can focus on, where you get to learn, where you get to nurture yourself, where you get to develop yourself, instead of directly going and just opening your small boutique or your design house or something. Even if you have the money or family background or anything, I won't advise. I advise 1-2 years you really need to work under someone, and that's how you will really gain the knowledge how the industry works like. And basically, see, there are the customers, like attending a customer, people who really want to open up a boutique. Attending a customer is not an easy job. Your idea and their ideas are two different things. What they want from you and what you want to design, there you have to keep your ego down. You have to think what the client wants. Like for me, I have to concentrate on what an actress wants. It's just not about my liking. It is about what they also want to wear. And you have to come up with a collection which is very unique, which they will love to flaunt. That's how it works. And socializing is one important thing. When you're in designing, you should meet the right kind of people. You should just get into the right kind of contacts and all that. And everything takes time. It just doesn't happen overnight. Don't think like the first show you will do, you will instantly become a hit. No. Like for me, it was like I had experience with me, but it doesn't happen with everybody like that. So you basically have to make sure. And when you talk about fashion weeks, I will tell you one thing, that it's not that it's easy. You really need to make some money and keep it aside if you want to do fashion shows, because when you're talking about doing fashion week, the collection has to be to the point. You just can't design everything and anything. You have to focus on a certain area, which is like your strength. Like you have to come up with a theme, the right colors, the right embroidery, and it has to go like throughout the collection. The collection doesn't, like, you can't just go like, suddenly from a purple you will directly go to a brown. No, it doesn't happen like that. The collection should have a rhythm, the collection should have a flow, like, so that is what it is. And like fashion weeks are not easy to do. You have a lot of hard work for that. It's just not that overnight you do a collection and next day you go and present it to the people. No, it is hard work. Everywhere, wherever there is hard work, you will be successful. And it is like a lot of work. You have to emphasize on a lot of detailings and all. You should know the correct fit of the garment. You should know the models. Like you should have a basic idea how the model body is and how the model silhouette is. And that's how it goes, because you should be ready with the backhand work. And when you do your first collection, make sure you just give your best, because that is what is going to get attention of everybody. There is going to be, press is going to be there, and everybody are going to be there. The media houses are going to be there. So you really don't want to spend so much on the PR, which I have never done. It's just the press should find your collection interesting. Once your collection is interesting, you just leave it aside. The press, the media houses, they will only make you famous. Trust me on that. And if one actress you're able to get hold who is going to wear your collection, who will love your collection, and other people are just going to flow, just make sure that the bonding is really good and you just do a good work, like, on the collection, whatever you emphasize. And you please, for all the designer, I will suggest that you all should participate in as much as fashion weeks as possible, because that is what is going to actually give you people will get to know you. That's how everybody will come to know who you are and what you are into. And please make sure that when the media is present, just make sure there is no flaw. One flaw, as I say, a fashion week can ruin you, a fashion week can make your name. Like my instinct with the Lakme Fashion Week was, I was so scared when my first Lakme Fashion Week was there. I didn't know what is going to happen. Like, everybody had very good celebrities and everybody walking in for all the designers, that there were big names, like we just can't imagine, their collection and all. So that nervousness is always there. But when your collection hits the ramp and at the end of the show, when people start clapping, so I got a standing ovation for my show, and that's where I felt like, yes, I have done it. And the moment I got out from my show, it was covered like I was there all over the internet, be it Vogue, be it LA, be it Femina, be it Harper Bazaar, like any Z News, NDTV, and I was keeping on getting calls from everybody. So I knew I did it. Like, the collection just became an instant hit, So that is what you have to focus, hard work is what it counts. So that's what I feel. So yeah,
yeah. Okay. If you want to just explain some.
Yeah. So like this collection is there. What is there? What you see is my collection of Lakme Fashion Week. And if you see, like, the garments and everything are all like the lotus motif thing. There is a rhythm of color. I wanted to have it like a Sangeet kind of a garment, the Indo-Western kind of a touch. So if you see a model is wearing the plazo with the, transparent organza jacket and all that. And if you see the earrings, my earrings also became a trend, So when I came out of the show, like accessories wise, Reshma Gunia had used those feather earrings, which became a trend instantly, or Bipasha Basu with the off-shoulder wedding wear, that became a trend, and the sheer organza thing. So I had focused on one motif. My collection was based on lotus and other floral motif, and I carried it throughout the theme. If you see, I have used pastels, like, pastels and aquas and royal blue, and then Bipasha Basu, suddenly the showstopper has to pop in a very different color, so that the entire highlight is on the showstopper. You have to make sure the showstopper wears and behaves the way you want your present collection to look. Bipasha Basu, if I don't know, everybody knows, is one of the most difficult celebrity to work in the Indian Bollywood cinema. She has, before me, one of the designer, she was supposed to work for him, and I was stuck with which actress I'm going to get. So I was working out with, I thought Tamanna Bhatia is going to work for me. I was trying to get Tamanna Bhatia, I was trying to get Shushmita Sen, then Malaika Arora said yes, but Bipasha Basu saw the collection and she said that I will work for you. And she instantly, one day before the show, she cancelled the other designer because the collection she didn't like. So you have to make sure the celebrity is going to love your collection. That is the most important thing, because it's not easy to get a celebrity wear your collection. Trust me. Otherwise, you'll end up paying a lot of amount to the celebrity, and they will just not give you, they will not bother to talk good about you. If you go to Bipasha Basu's Instagram page, she had written such nice things about me that I myself felt happy. Like, okay, it's such a nice thing. Like, she was like, I was very happy to work with one talented designer. Like, that meant a lot to me. And after that, Tamanna Bhatia wore my clothes, Pooja Hegde, Shamita Shetty, everybody started wearing, So that's how it is. Like, magazines house, design houses, they call you to design for them, for their cover page and all that. So I feel everything is on your talent. Nobody can help you succeed other than yourself. And you should have a right knowledge of using the right embroidery everywhere. Like, if you see the collection what Bipasha Basu is wearing, see, although the neck is bare, I have not given anybody a neck piece. Designers, they do a lot of mistakes. They will overload the, celebrity or the model with everything, accessories and all. What do you want to get yourself focused? You have to make sure that, it has to be, the element of your garment has to be highlighted. Now, this is Pooja Hegde. I designed for her for Wedding Vow. And if you see, the magazine had a certain requirement. They wanted Pooja Hegde to be like a glamour-oriented woman for their magazine. So I had to make sure that that element has to be there. So if people will say, oh, it's like exposing and all, no, sorry. The magazine has to sell. Okay, and they have a certain requirement. Like, when they have come to me to design a collection for Pooja Hegde, they have a certain want and requirement, which I have to understand. Then Pooja Hegde had her requirements. Like, okay, I will wear her collection, but I want it to be like this. I want it to be like that. So it's a lot of hard work. I had to keep ready 3 garments aside. So in case of something goes wrong, because celebrities, like, if they don't like anything, no, they'll just walk out. They are not bothered what the magazine is paying them, or the design house or actresses or anybody is paying them. They're not bothered. They want to look good. Eventually, it is like they should feel good about themselves. So we have to make sure about everything here. See, my focus was on the embroidery blouse because I want to sell this in the market like US and abroad. And I wanted to make sure it is for the modern glamorous women, So all the foreigners can also spot such kind of collection where there is glamorous. So I wanted to keep it like an Indo-Western look. They never wanted a gown. They never wanted very ethnic, but they still wanted ethnic with Indian touch and glamour coating, which will have Western wear. Everything should be in a garment. So that's how this collection came up. And it went like, I think, as an instant hit, and everybody has liked it. Okay. Now, this is actress Nandita Shweta. If everybody knows about her, she is one of a big name in the Tamil industry, and right now, because of my work, she's my very good friend, I should say. And one garment, the green lotus one, if you see, that is also from one of my fashion weeks. And she wanted to have one Indian look for IFA, but wanted to use a dupatta and all that. And that's how this collection came up. And if you see, the embroidery the focus is on the embroidery, is just on the half body. Because when an actress is wearing, you don't want to give a lehenga, like, which is like what everybody is doing. You can't do what every shop is doing. You can't do what Mysore Silk Udyog is doing, or what Mehraj is doing, or what. Why are you a designer? You are a designer because you have to come up with something new. because you have to come up with some ideas, So after this collection, I think many designers have copied this, and then the net thing had come up. But this is way like ahead when I had done this, and where we have used a raw silk and complete embroideries, hand embroidery and handcrafted. And instantly, as soon as the IFA got over, I got at least so many orders for that garment. And the other one, the brown one, is like she wanted a very modern, she wanted an easygoing thing, because that day she wanted to party, so she wanted something. If you see the brown one, she wanted to later change it to a short skirt, so I kept it like minimalistic, where it is easy with the top is transparent and bare, and later when she wants to wear a short skirt, it will give a western wear look. That's how this fusion garment is there. Okay, so this is my work before the lockdown, and this is like, I didn't know my garment is going to be on the cover page of Wedding Wow magazine. They said that, we want you to design a sari, but should look very different styling for Tamanna Bhatia. We don't want the blouse and all that. So what you can do? That's how the idea of the hooded jacket came in, and the collection came up so good that it was carried on the cover page of the Wedding Wow magazine. And if you see, I have used like sequins are in trend, so if you see the detailings of sequins are there, and here I have used contrasting colors. People will say, why contrasting colors? Why can't I have the beige blouse itself? Sorry, then what is it like? How can a magazine cover be different? It's going to be like how everybody is going to wear the sari, So for making a cover page interesting, we have to come up with innovative techniques. And that's how this is like, a multicolored sequins jacket and bomber jacket with the sequins rose pink sari. And I had just got 1 week to do this collection. And no trial, nothing. And eventually we were there at the shoot. And Tamanna Bhatia, like, she is very petite, so we had to make sure the sari is draped in such a way that she doesn't have to carry it on the shoulder, and the hooded jacket is also there, and the sari also reflects. And I think the moment the collection was out, one client, NRI client from UK, already bought the sari.
Wow.
So that's how it goes, So that's where you make the money after all the hard work. Yeah. So we can go to the next slide. So this is again one collection, one of my favorite, I should say. The actress was supposed to win Filmfare Award, and she called me and she said, I'm nominated, Reshma. I told her, don't worry, you will win the award, So she was like, you are like so positive about it, I said, yeah, you'll win, you have done good work, don't worry about it. And that's how I said, why don't you go for the trail garment? She said, trail, won't it be too much? I said, no, you're gonna win, it's just gonna look good. And we designed for her a trail garment, and when she won the Filmfare Award, the moment she got the trophy and she got down off the stage, the first call, she called me and she said, see, I've got the award, and thanks to you. And they have to love you. They instantly tweeted all over. It was there on Twitter, it was there on Instagram, it was there everywhere, and then other actresses started calling me and saying, how can you do that? You designed for her, you didn't design for me. So that's how, you have to make sure that people want to wear your collection. You don't have to run behind them, let them run behind you, That's where the fun element is. When you start running behind them, and if you're not doing good work, you will pay them, they'll wear it for one day. Later, nobody is going to turn up and come back to you. So that's what. So this was for Filmfare. Okay. So, like, I don't know how many people of y'all know. So when Femina Style Diva came in Bangalore, the first show, they were looking for a Western wear designer who could design gown contest. And throughout South India, they tried lots of designers, and they were not able to find anybody who can carry forward this show. And because it was their first show in South India, they're very particular that the designer should have an international flavor, because all the contestant finale round have to wear her garments. The celebrities have to wear, if means if the celebrity likes, and that's how the thing came. So for 5 years continuously, I was designing for Femina Style Diva South for the Style Pageant for 5 continuously. I was the only South Indian designer who designed the Western wear line, and I was the only designer in the entire Femina show all over India who made sure she walks the ramp with the contestant, because that was my condition. I was like, I will design for you. What are you going to give me in return? So that's how the bargaining starts, you know. So, and they made sure that I also walk the ramp, and that's how it gave me more fame and more knowledge. Okay. Here, if you see Aditi Rao Hydria, that is again from one of the Femina shows. And here I had designed for Shamita Shetty for Lifestyle Magazine, which is a travel magazine for for a cover page and for the inner pages and all. And they were, because metallic was very in that time, so we made sure that it is a metallic thing. And if you see that Shamita Shetty is a little on the duskier side, you know. So I never wanted to give her any color. I wanted to give it like a very modern look. That's how the color purple came in. So this is what about this slide, and we can move to the next. Okay, so now this is from a client requirement. It is for Joy Alucas. They wanted to do a show with cricketer Mithali Raj. And now cricketer Mithali Raj, you know, she's the women cricket captain, and Joy Alucas and the team of organizers and everybody had come to me that we want you to design the showstopper garment. But we don't want your garment to be highlighted here, because we want the garment plus the jewelry to be highlighted. So that's how we gave a very open neck, and she's loaded with jewelry because it was for the South Indian market. So if you ask me, it's not my personal touch. I will never design, I will not make an actress wear something like that. If I had to put, I would have just put a earring. But then it is the brand. The brand is paying me to do this work. So I have to listen to the brand, and that's how the jewelry has to get highlighted. And so if you see, this is all for the jewelry. That's why it's loaded with the jewelry. The next slide. Okay, so this is actress Harshika Punacha. She went for SIMA Awards, and she wanted to look very glamorous. If you see, if you go, she is a Kannada actress, as all of you are aware. And if you go to her page or anything, she has never looked so glamorous. She wanted to look very glamorous for this event because she wanted other directors and everybody to spot her at the event. And she wanted to look like, because all the Bollywood celebrities were also going to be there. So she wanted to make sure that she is noticed. And that's how I came up with this blue fitted gown. And if you see the shoulders, it's very different. And this garment was like there in Bollywood news everywhere, because everybody had loved this garment and the color. And next actress is Shruti Hariharan, for whom she had called me to make for her a garment for band, means this Maja Talk is a talk show on Color TV. And that's how this idea came, because it was a casual talk show. I never wanted it to be very heavy. She wanted an Indo-Western touch, so that's why we had given the arms like that, and it was a zigzag. I never wanted to use the floral pattern and all, because everybody was using it that time. And this garment, I think I have sold at least around 40-50 pieces, because there were so many requirements of this garment. Most of the people had liked it, like, you know. So that's how this garment was an instant hit, because of the color and all. So this is actress Samyukta Hunnad, and she was again winning the Filmfare Award. And this was the first time she was winning an award, and she had come to me. In fact, we both had, you know, she had done Life Ishtenu, and I had also just started my designing, like costume designing in the South Indian industry that time. So she said, no, Reshma, I only want you to design my garment. And that's how this cut work jacket, crop top had come up, and she bought it. She paid me a bomb for that jacket, and she said, no, I love that and I want to wear it, but I want to look like a very simple girl too. I don't want to look very glamorous, because my forte is the movies I'm doing right now is all like simple base. So that's how the collection was a little on the simpler side. And that is again Ayushmann Khurrana for one of my shows. Okay. So this is one memorable event, like Ragini Dwivedi was supposed to inaugurate the Goa Film Festival with Rajnikant sir and Amitabh Bachchan, and it was like a honor for her, and she wanted to look very classy. It had to have the Indian touch, and she wanted to be like, you know, noticed, and that's how this garment had come in. If you see, this is not a sari, this is a lehenga, a dupatta, and a cutwork blouse, but we had draped it in such a way, because that time Ragini Dwivedi was little on the healthier side, so she never wanted to, you know, she wanted to hide all the flaws, and she wanted to look just perfect. And that's how the draping of the dupatta came in such a way that if you see in the image, none of her flaws are highlighted, and she's just looking like a glam doll. And that's how we had come up with this collection. So you have to listen to the actress, as I say, you know, because nobody's body is perfect, nobody is perfect, nobody's skin tone is perfect. So when you're designing for a celebrity, you have to make sure, you have to understand what are the problems of theirs, what they want to hide or highlight. And that's how this thing came, because that time she had put on a little bit weight, she wanted to make sure it is hidden. Yeah, next. Okay. So this is one memorable moment when Times people called me and they said they want to give me an award for my work in designing, and they're very happy. And all over South India and everything, I was selected as one of the Times Power Women, and I had got this award. So it was like, and even from Smile Foundation, I had got a Woman Achiever Award. And there are many more awards I have got. It's just that too, I don't want to put everything on the slideshow. So as I told you, the movement Bipasha Basu walked in my collection, it was an instant hit. It was there in NDTV, it was there on Z News, it was there all over the internet, and that these are some of the things. And here I'm making Setting Friends for my off-shoulder blouse. If you see the royal blue blouse, which was there covered by LA Magazine. And here one article about me was Drama in a Sari, where I had designed a sari. I was the first one to design a sari in a unique way with pants and the sari and all that. So that's how Femina Magazine had covered a complete article about me of one page. Yeah. And here it is about the mask. This is a very memorable thing, and this is something which is very, like, I'm very attached to, because I had, during the lockdown, when the COVID-19 situation came in, and I knew my workers don't have so much of money who can afford so many masks and everything, and I decided to make fabric mask on March 16th. And that's how I made it for my workers. I distributed it from that. This was how to utilize the industry waste, what I had done. Like, we had a lot of waste and everything, and I converted them all into masks. And that's how it just went, and all the magazines that covered. And these are just some of my interviews, and I give articles. I'm a regular person who gives articles for Deccan Chronicle and lots of newspapers like Vijay Karnataka. I write articles for Ritz magazine. So I give all the trends and all that. I give articles for Femina at times. So these are some of them. So all these are just my articles. Like this, I am regular. I used to write regular column for RAM for Vijay Karnataka. And this is like from my show. As I told you, see, if you see in this garment carefully, it is, if you see this garment carefully, it is from one of the shows of Lakme. And if you see how I have taken forward the theme. If you see the second garment, you see the way I have draped the dupatta, you won't even feel it's a dupatta. It's like a jacket, but I have draped it so well, and I have given a leather belt that it became like a style statement, you know. So you have to make sure it's just not about designing, it is even about styling. A designer needs to have a knowledge about colors, a designer needs to have a knowledge about the right color, the right way of draping, the right way of how to, you know, style the garment. Or a designer should have knowledge about a lot of things, I should say. It's just not, when you want to become a national level designer, it's just not that, you know, about the clothes. So this is again like about, this is again the collection which I had done for Lakme itself. This off-shoulder garment had become a trend. If you see the wine color, the sari, I had just draped it like that because I wanted to highlight the blouse. So if you see my collection, what is the thing which you'll find unique is what, you know, I don't emphasize on all elements. I just want to highlight my embroidery. I will concentrate on the blouse, because when you want to make a style statement, if you have to make sure that the collection, the style is, if you do embroidery all over the skirt, all over the blouse, all over the dupatta, it is for a regular customer. It is never for a fashion week. In a fashion week, everything has to be highlighted. See, as you see, each and every lotus flower is highlighted because that collection is all about lotus. And if you see the other blouse, the embroidery is highlighted, which has the flower in the theme. So you have to make sure that your collection is such that it displays the message directly to the consumers, you know. It is not like they have to look into it and find out, oh, what it is. And everything is hand embroidered and everything. If you see, I am the first designer who had come up with the scallop kind of a embroidery, you know, at the bottom. And later lots of people start, you know, a design, once it is a hit, it gets copied, you know. So you always have to be ready for changes. You cannot just, like, you know, once I did scallop design, will just keep continuing. No, you have to come up with innovative ideas. Also, if you see, I have kept the neck also bare of the model, because I don't want everything to be, I just want my blouse to be highlighted. I want my skirt to be highlighted. So the embroidery has to be such, it has to be catchy, you know. The makeup, I have kept subtle makeup. I never wanted to overdo with the makeup, you know, because I want my garment to be highlighted. I'm a designer. I'm not a beautician who wants the model, but I want it to look classy. So that's how it goes, you know. I hope you understand with this elements like out. Now, this is my brand Becoming, my ready-to-wear brand Becoming. It retails across India, all over India, across Future Group, and this brand has become an instant. I'm already competing with names like Global Desi and Biba and all that. In top 4, I'm always there with India. And though I just launched the brand just 2 years back, but the collection has that touch that people like it, people keep coming for it, and that's how it becomes. Because I want to make this collection came up in mind, the brand came up in my mind because I wanted the collection to be affordable to the masses. Like, you know, designer wears are expensive, as everybody knows, because when you're doing a good design and when you're actually doing a very good embroidery and everything, no, it is very time consuming. Because when you do designer wear, you can't have machine embroidery and all that. It needs to be hand embroidery and all. So I wanted my collection to be available for everybody, for the masses. And that's how the brand Becoming came in, where I made sure that it is affordable. Becoming is between 1,000 to 5,000, mostly all the garments, which is like occasion wear, but trendy occasion wear. So that's how this, I have come up with this brand. It's already there in Delhi, Gurgaon, Pune. It is there in Hyderabad. It is there in, it is all in. Yeah. Thanks, guys. I've been reading messages. Very nice collection, ma'am. Excellent collection, ma'am. Thank you, Deepika. Thank you, lots of people. While I was reading, I have been reading the comments, and I'm like, thanks for everyone liking it so much. So if anybody wants to ask something.
Yeah, it was indeed impressive. Do you also want to play the videos?
Yeah, of course. Yes, you can play the video.
Yeah, Shrimukha, we can have the videos.
Yes.
And we'll take up the questions, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, meanwhile he's playing. Ready. Okay, let's see the video.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you, Lakshmi. Thanks, Tanuja. Thanks. Okay. So whoever names I can read, I'm just telling them. Okay, thanks everyone. So this is from my show. It is of the black and gold collection. You can play with the music also, like they can watch the
Yeah, Shumukha, it's not audible. Can you please music?
So this was one of the shows. If you see my collection, I don't go haywire with the colors. I try to focus, like when it comes on the ramp, people should like the collection. I always get standing ovations for my shows, because I am not that kind of a designer who does all the shows. I'm very selective about my show, and if I do one show, I have to make sure the show is a hit. Everybody has to cover it, and everybody has to love the show. So that I always make sure.
¿Te acuerdas cuando antes le dábamos con el arriba, abajo, lento, lento, arriba, abajo, lento, lento, arriba, abajo, lento, lento? Hacho mami, ese movimiento, arriba, abajo, lento, lento, arriba, abajo, lento, lento, arriba, abajo, lento, lento. Y si se pone de espalda porque quiere, pues toma, dale, toma, dale, toma, 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 dale, toma, dale, toma, dale. ¿Te gusta eso? Entonces dale, toma, dale, toma, dale, toma, y si se prueba la madera, un poco un clavo y un martillo y clava, clava.
So if you see, that time fringes were very in, and I wanted to make a collection out of aqua blue and all, because it was like in summer how to give a Indian wear a light look and a very modern look. I wanted the collection to be very peppy on the ramp. So if you hear the music also, like it made the crowd also sing with that, And if you see all my shows, you will see it's always jam-packed, because the crowd should find it interesting to come and watch your show. It is not just the first two lines are there and your rows of public is there and rest is not there. I have shows where people just stand till the gate. So that's how a show should be, if you ask me,
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, Reshma, so let's take up the questions now.
Yes.
Okay. So Shubhi asks, okay, now I think she's highly inspired by you, because she's asking from which institute have you done your fashion designing?
Okay. See, I had done from NIFT Mumbai,
All right.
but to be honest, first I joined JD's. 1 month I didn't like it so much. Then I went to NIFT Mumbai. I honestly speaking, I'd just done 6 months in NIFT. It was just my work which just took me places. It's all hands-on experience. I'll just be honest. I just don't want to tell you all that, I had done my degree through this. No, it is just the hard work. The first show which went hit, the first state level competition I won, I went abroad to just do my internship. And from there, I got hands-on working with the brand, and I never looked behind. And I joined international. They gave me full training and everything, the company itself. And that's how I'm groomed like that, actually. So if you ask me to design Western wear, I can do Indian wear, I can do sports wear, I can do kids wear. So because I have actually been drilled like that. So.
And actually every designer should have that versatility.
Yes.
So Drishan asks you, the design you created as far as is marvelous and enough. But who and which things were your inspiration while creating such wonderful designs?
Okay, inspiration, like for every collection, I have to come up with new inspiration. Like, once I was just sitting and I was looking at a honeybee, roaming around near my apartment. And I came up with a collection with all honeybee embroidery on the collection. And that's how inspiration, you get inspired by anything. I will tell you my first collection, which got me, the first prize in a state level competition. I'll just tell tell you that, I was sitting in my house and I was just a 6 months old student and I didn't know what I had to do, what I would design and all. And just for fun, I had to render and I had to design. And there were these paper plates lying all over the house that day. My cousin's birthday party had happened and lots of colorful caps and everything. And I came up with a collection, the couture collection, which were made of colored paper plates. And it became a hit.
Oh.
So it's like completely, I'll be honest, it is how you perceive. It is how you see.
Definitely.
It is how you take nature. Inspiration is everywhere. You just have to look around. Inspiration is there in nature. Inspiration is there in your house. Inspiration is there at your work. Inspiration, like when I sit for becoming, I just give 1 hour a day for becoming, because now I am more like a designer. I'm more like an entrepreneur. I have 100 people working for me. So my job is just not designing. I have to attend the marketing queries. I have to attend the accounts queries, everything. But so when I focus on designing, I make sure 2 hours in a day, I just give it to my design work. I find inspiration everywhere and and I feel that you should always look for unique things. Yeah, you should come up with something. Don't copy people. Trust me, it's not going to take you anywhere. Come up with something different. You will definitely go places. Some people will be good in pop art. They'll be good in rendering and everything. So just come up with anything you like. Just don't copy people. Designers do a very big mistake. Oh, Sabyasachi is big. I'll follow Sabyasachi. Oh, Anamika Khanna. I'll follow Anamika Khanna. No, nobody is going to take you anywhere if you follow anybody, because they're already there. They're doing that work. What are you doing different? Be known for your work. Be versatile. Yeah.
So who is your favorite celebrity whom you dream to design?
Dream to design. Okay, I love Sushmita Sen. She was supposed to walk for me because I find her as a very, very strong woman. And I love strong women because I myself am one who has gone against her family wishes and gone into designing. When I took up designing, my parents were like, you want to become a tailor? You're going to become a tailor? And you won't believe, my mother made sure I finished my bachelor's in commerce too, along with my design.
Okay. Oh.
And that's not because stand. And during my time 10 years back, it was like, what is designing? Tailors can do this job, man. So I really had to be drilled, like.
Right. Okay. So
and in international, I love Beyonce.
Oh, okay, correct.
Her body,
Again, strong.
Yeah.
Okay. Can a retail management student start his or her own brand, like the collaboration with budding designers or something?
Okay, yes, of course, yes, they can. But firstly, before the moment you come out of institute, I'll personally say, please work for someone.
True.
Get your intern done. Please work for a brand for 1-2 years. That's where the knowledge will come. Nobody is born talented. Many people succeed and all, but there are lots of loopholes, even how good you are in designing to handle the commercial aspect and all, it's a very different ball game. Trust me, I hate accounts, but I have to learn and I have to do, because I have to manage all the account stuff. So everything, everybody has to learn everything. Just don't get just the moment you come out of the institute, just don't. And budding designer, instead of budding designer, go with designer who have knowledge, because they are the people who are going to make their collection sell. Like if you ask me, I get students from NIFT, I get students from SOFT and all for internship and all that. So when they come out of the institute, however good the institute is, it really doesn't matter whether it's Vogue, whether it's Army Institute, whether it's JD Institute, whether it's whatever, but the internship is one thing which counts, which is very strong. And with whom you do it, under whom. The person should have the knowledge, what they are talking and what they are teaching the kids, So that's very important. Yeah.
Okay. So before starting your own brand, what all difficulties did you face?
Oh, a lot of difficulties. That's not what all I should say. Okay. Before starting my own brand, as you knew, I was working abroad. So I had some funds, okay? I had money. But when I did my first show, first fashion week and all the money went exhausted. so much of money the fashion week people take, and then the collection takes and all. And if it doesn't sell, you have to scratch your head like, what I'll do now next? Are your parents going to fund? Who is going to fund you so much? So it's a lot of hard work. Trust me, guys, it's not so easy, you know. It took me a lot of time, a lot of investment financially, a lot of things. And you know, however good your collection is, it might be looking good on a celebrity. Customers are not going to wear it. Customers have their own different mindset. You need to understand the market you are catering to. You can't say, people will say, oh, beautiful collection, but are they going to go and buy? That you have to make sure they buy your collection. That is very important.
That's a big word, yeah. Okay, so what are the basic qualities needed by a good designer in your view?
A good designer should have a good eye for detailing, a good eye for color, a good understanding of fabrics, a good understanding of embroideries, and a good designer should never have ego. They should be always ready to work, listen, because there is someone above you. There is someone who is better than you. Listen to advices, but do what is best for you. Never get your ego in between, because when you are starting your career, the choreographers are going to, not listen to you. The models are not going to listen to you. The celebrity will say, I want to wear the dupatta like this. How are you going to convince her? I want to wear the gown like that. I will tell you my experience. My first gown, I designed a royal blue gown with feathers of peacock. Actress after some time had removed it of peacock feather. The collection was about peacock and the feather was only not there. So, you have to make sure to convince the people how you have to do it. So a good designer should have an eye for detailing, I would say, and should be very good in marketing their own self.
True. Okay, so Ranshur asks, how important IPR, intellectual property rights, is in the profession of designers or own label?
See, it is very important because what I say, like when you're having your own brand and all and everything, you need to make sure it has a certain identity. If you don't have an identity, you're lost, and everything, you should not, as I say, you should not copy people. When you do that, it is just going to take you down. Somebody, now social media is so strong. The moment you copy, somebody will take your name, oh, she has copied this designer, and then you're gone. Your career is gone, you're ruined.
Exactly.
Please make sure you don't do something like that if you want to make a name national level. Oh, okay, if you want to run a small boutique or something like that, it's a different ballgame. Okay, they come up with Bipasha Basu, they come up with Sushmita Sen, design and give them, no issues, till you're making money. But if you want to go with national level and fashion weeks and all, please don't make the mistake of copying people.
True. So what are the leading stores where emerging designers can put up their collections?
Okay, I will not name the store. Emerging designers have to slog and go store after store. Okay, it's not that you come out and you go, oh, my collection is so good, my friends are liking it, celebrities are liking it, and why will a brand take your collection? You have to market it so well. You have to make sure that you are giving them return per square feet. A brand to keep your collection, they just talk money. They don't care, like, you are what, whether you're Sabyasachi or whether you're Reshma Kunni. Ritu Kumar was removed from so many centrals because they were not able to convert it into the, like the MRPs, and they were not able to give them profits, So a designer has to make sure what they are going to give it to the brand, the stores. Be ready with that. Be ready with your homework first before you approach the stores. That how you're going to make profit for the brand. True. They are not going to see all this, oh, good work, they will say. But what are you going to do for their stores, and how you're going to serve them is more important.
Correct. So do you keep the styling aspect in mind while designing the garment, or do you think about it later?
No, I think about everything, and that's how I come up with the design.
Cool.
Yeah. I have a habit, I will tell you. I will design a collection. Wow, it's very nice. I'll show it to my friends. I'll show it to my workers. I'll show it to my junior designers. Everybody will like it. I'll keep that collection on my table for 1 week. Again and again, I'll see the design. Then I'll say, oh, this is not right. Again, I will change. This is not. So for me, I myself study my own design. That's how I do. When the garment is ready, I make sure it is hung in front of me at least for 4-5 days. So whenever I'm walking through, I see the garment and I myself find out the faults in it.
Wow.
So that's how I work.
Oh, that's pretty
People
wonderful.
find it very difficult to work with me because I am like one nerd. My masters, they get fed up of me. Like, this man has lost her head. Today she will say she wants this, tomorrow she's removing it off. So, but then I want to make sure my collection is impressive and it is covered. So I have to do all this.
That's how perfection is attained. Okay, so how does the designer's collection get covered by a fashion magazine?
All depends on your work, how good you are. Have you done something different? Have you done something interesting? If you have done, they're sure to cover you, trust me. And if you have done a bad work, be sure they're going to write about it too.
Oh.
So make sure. So when you go for a national level, please be sure that your collection is to the point. With me, there were so many designers, but nobody got so many coverage as I had got. So I should say I'm the lucky one. And if you just say Reshma Kunni, you'll find it all over the web. It is all about my design. Why? Because I made sure that the press, the magazines, everybody liked it. Means they should feel good. The color should be such that they should love to carry it in their magazine. The styling should be such that they should like to publish it. See, it is not about spending money. Trust me, guys, I'll be very honest with you. If anybody is fooling you or telling, do PR, do this, spend money on this, everything is bullshit. If your collection is good, you're going to get covered. Trust me on this. Take my word. I didn't spend on anything as such. Now, after I've come to this stage now, still now I'm not advertised for myself.
Wow.
So now I have to, because I've come up with brand becoming and all that. So I have to, so that it is known. But for last 10 years, it was only through word of mouth. It goes from one person to another, one person. Like the mask thing, I'm telling you, I'll just give you an example, guys. The mask thing, which I came up with the COVID-19, I was the first Indian designer to come up with a printed mask on March 16. After me, Masaba came, Anita Dongre came, everybody came in April. But it doesn't get unnoticed, When I put my first mask photo on my Facebook page, the press saw it and they had seen who are the other designers also. And when they came for the interview Times Now, they came to me first. So I was I was the national level designer, like who was there on the news channel. I was the only designer.
Wow.
So that's how. So get noticed, guys.
Okay, so Reshika asks, what if a student has a lot of potential but doesn't have good family income? I think monetary terms. How should one start?
Okay, first of all, do internship, work for a brand, make a little bit of money. You don't need too much. Yes, if you want to do fashion weeks and all, earn your own money, keep it aside, and then go for it. Just don't go blindly for it. And even for a collection, when it is not about one season, be ready with the next collection money also. So I always say that. And there are bank people who give you loan, and you have to make sure that your collection sells to people. They are the people who are going to buy and they're going to give you money. So before that, you make up collection which you're selling, you're making enough money, then you go for all this. Just don't go for all this first and then think about the money part. Think about the financial aspect first.
How do you stay up to date with the trends going on? Like what would be hit in the market, and how do you implement it to make it like a touchy effect? Keep in the trends. Yeah.
If anybody is following me, I don't know if you'll see me. I'll be at 2 o'clock in the night. Also, I'll be on Instagram sometime. I'll be on surfing through web or anything. If I don't get time, I make sure I spend 1 or 2 hours of my day just seeing what is going around the globe. And that is what you have to keep yourself up to date. What is happening around you, what is happening internationally, what is happening in the Indian market, what is happening everywhere. You really need to have an eye for detailing. You need to keep yourself like up to the mark. You just can't afford to lose that vibes. If you have lost it, you're gone. There are other names who can just take over.
True. Okay, what material, I mean, among all the raw materials that you use, what is the most that you use? Your favorite fabrics, probably?
Nothing is my favorite. Fabric depends on my collection. My collection is my favorite. This season, it's all about pastel, so it will be about this season. It is all about sequins, so I'll only work on sequins embroidery. So nothing favorite. I work across all fabrics.
Okay. Then before questions, we have a lot of superb collection.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, so we know that research is very important for any collection. How do you start your research?
Okay. Now, research is firstly for everybody. I will really tell you all, understand the color base properly, understand the embroideries properly. You should know the color balance when your karigar is doing it, how good he is. Don't leave it on him. If he was a designer, he wouldn't have been a karigar. So you are the designer. You dictate your terms. You have to see what is right and what is wrong, you know. And first of all, understanding of color, understanding of fabric, which fabric goes with what, you know, is very important. The all these things, like the moment you keep researching, like, you know, okay, I want to, like, I'll give you an example. I want to make a fall 2020 collection. What you will first do, you will go to the web, you will put fall 2020, and you will go and do your research. First you have to see what went hit last season, then you have to see what is going to go hit, what are celebrities wearing. You have to come up with your own ideas, and that's how it happens. Just don't copy, just take information from everywhere.
Right. Okay, and then there are culmination, a lot of questions. How to get into fashion weeks, how to participate.
Fashion weeks, okay, if you talk with me about Bangalore Fashion Week or Mysore Fashion Week or all the small things like keeps happening, you know, you just have to pay them money and they will get you through. But after that, are you gonna be there? Will you sustain? That's important. Everybody spends a lot of money. I have seen names coming up with one fashion week and they are gone, lost on the next. 2 fashion weeks, they are no more in the market, you know. So don't do that mistake, guys. Make an identity for yourself first. National level doesn't happen like that. Designing for celebrities doesn't happen like that. It's a lot of work. They check each and every detailing of your garment. When I participated for Tex World Paris, everything was seen. Every detailing was seen, you know, what is unique in your garment. When I did Interstock Hong Kong, that time also it was like, you know, they want to see everything. National level is a different ball game, guys. Just you have to be very, very creative in that. You just can't, you know, go and do whatever you feel like and walk. Lakme Fashion Week, I'll be honest, I was trying for 3 years and then I got through. So that's how it happens. They check everything, every small detailing. It's just not easy. But if you are good at it, no one can stop you, like me. Simple.
Okay, Neelam asks us, to become successful, first thing that is important is hard work. Okay, then what else? Should we be good in illustration or stitching, or should study books?
Okay, you have to be good in illustration, but it's okay. Somebody can even illustrate. You should know stitching, but there are people who are going to stitch it for you. You need to know embroidery, but there are people who know. But what you need to be good at is your creativity. That counts. Other things all can be balanced. You'll get people to do all this work. So if you're creative, if you have the idea, that is what is going to take you to places.
What could be the future of costumes in cinema?
Costumes, as far as Bollywood, Tollywood, Hollywood, everything is there. Costumes are always going to be there. Why worry? Anybody wants to do costume designing, just go for it. Only thing is, if you want to do costume designing, you have to run, you have to spend 3 months, 4 months, you know, with them. You have to go on the movie sets and all. I did costume designing for 2 movies, 3 movies actually. But then I don't want to give so much of time, like 3 months, 4 months sitting on the set and all. That was not me. I wanted to create brands. I have other goals, like, you know, even when I become old, I want that, you know, my brand has to be there. So that was the idea. So I had a certain logic. So I'm running behind that. Instead of running behind doing costume, I have a lot of movie offers. I got Uppi too for Upendra also. I said, no, if you're paying me so much, I'll do, otherwise I'm not doing it. So I am a person who dictates her own terms. For Bollywood, I've got so many movies for Bollywood. I'm like, no, if you are going to pay me per costume so much, I'll do it. I am not going to spend my 4 months sitting on the set doing nothing for a lakh of rupees. I can sell 3, 4 of my garments and I'll get that money. So I'm that kind of a person, you know.
True. Okay, so when you do a collection, so some are sold and some must be left out. So how do we did?
Of course, it is there. But what are sold, you make enough, right? It's going to get you fame. It's going to get you name. What is sold, you're already making your profits out of it, and balance can go and sell. Give discounts and dispose it off. Over the years, there will be somebody who will buy that also.
True. Okay, how do you stay up? Okay, this question has been taken. Okay, if you asked to collaborate with someone else as a designer, whom would you choose? Like, who's your favorite fashion designer, probably?
My favorite fashion designer is Alexandra McQueen. I
Oh, wow.
like Roberto Cavalli because I'm an animal print person. In Indian wear, I like Sabyasachi, I like Anamika Khanna. I have a lot of favorites because I find everybody's work unique. We can't be like someone like,
Exactly.
yeah. You have to have your own identity. As I say, somebody is good at something, you have to appreciate.
Okay, I think this is anonymous, but I'm sure this is by some male because he asks, I appreciate your work, but don't you think of working on for male garments?
I do male garments. Who said I don't?
Oh, okay.
I do male garments, but I'll be honest, okay? I'm being very biased here. I want to make money also, okay, as a designer. And in male, I only concentrate on bridal wear and I concentrate on party wears and all that. I design for actors and all that. And I design for males. I've done for Australian Consulate, Sherwani. I've done so many wedding wears, for bride rooms and everything. I've done a lot of male. But my page, actually, I don't want to post everything on my page because I want it to look classy. So that I do a lot of meals.
Okay. What do you think about work ethics?
For all the meals, I am going to come up with a menswear line also. Menswear line, everybody wants me to do that. I don't know. Everybody has been.
Oh, great.
Why being so biased to it? But before that, I'm launching a kidswear line, and after that, I'm going to come up with a menswear line too.
Oh, wow. Wonderful news for males and kids. What do you think about work ethics?
Okay. See, I feel everybody should have work ethic in them. If you don't have that ethic, well. See, like as a day to day, I'll tell you about my day. When it starts off, I really don't know where it is going to go. Suddenly, a press person calls me, "Can you please come for an interview?" I have to go. Suddenly, there is an editor who is calling me, "There is a launch, please come." I have to go, but I have to balance my day. I have to make sure I'm going to my factory every single day because I can't leave my work on my masters. Because whatever they do, eventually you have to oversee your work anyhow. So now, because of web and all, it's more easier. Like we zoom in, we do video conferencing and all. Because now I have started a unit in Bombay also. So I have to make sure that my work is what I want, not like what my guys are doing. So I make sure that my styling and sampling are ready. And that's how I go. And I make sure I spend 1 hour of a day with, I have 4-5 masters, then I work them closely, and at least 1 hour a day I give it to them, and I sit with my hand embroidery team and understand what is their problem, because they will be making the garments, but they want to get an idea about the color and the balancing, which I give time to that. So work ethic is very important. You really need to have make sure that you are spending time. Don't get carried away by fame. Just don't go haywire. You need to learn to balance, because your work is, because of your work you are famous. If there is no work, you're not famous.
True.
Yeah.
Okay. Before taking any internee, what do you look for?
Okay. Internee, I basically see that the intern is actually going to drill. Like, I'm one person, I don't get satisfied easily. So he is ready to work. He or she is ready to do what I say. They are ready to slog. They are ready to research. They are ready to sketch. I had an intern. If Mr. Vijay Kumar, your HOD, had got the Indian Army head, she did it from Sidbice's. His daughter had done internship with me, and she selected out of all India. He wanted her to do internship only with me. So then that's how. But I made a drill, with a stick, tablets, right? I like when you're ready to do anything and everything. It doesn't mean you only have to do designing. You have to do everything, the day-to-day work. So I see that in the intern. I see whether they are creative. You come to know within a week. I can just see a portfolio and I can say whether they are creative or not. So
Yeah,
that's what.
right. Okay, so Reshma will take up the last set of questions now.
Yeah.
So how do you handle your stress?
Actually, I leave my work if I have any stress, like before a fashion week and everything, I will just be keeping on thinking about that. And then I'll go with my friends out, I'll go for a coffee, I'll go for dinner or something like that. And I'll call my mom. She is my biggest stress buster. Whenever I have a problem, like, Mommy, this, what do you think? And she'll say, hey, don't worry, you'll do a good job. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna cool. So it's like that, I handle it well. I have taken a lot of stress because when you do international work and everything, and you have to be like, you have to make sure. See, I have always, there are times when the finale designer is like someone very big and I am the pre-finale designer.
Okay.
So I have to make sure that my collection is a hit. But luckily my collection has always been a hit, better than the finale designer, because I put in so much of effort. So, but I'll be very honest, guys, because I'm like one of y'all. I am being very honest with you, but there are lots of designers who are not going to tell you. So you have to actually, do a lot of hard work behind them, because they don't want anybody to grow more than that. That is also one of the quality of the industry which takes people back. But I feel if you have the talent, everybody, there is a lot of space for everybody to grow.
And how do you handle your arrogant clients or unsatisfied clients?
I call them and I tell them, what are you looking at? Oh, you don't like it? Come, I will change it for you. Don't worry, I'll do this for you. So that's how I handle them. So if somebody is not happy, somebody will say that, and honestly speaking, my clients love me, because the reason being, I listen to their problems. If they say it is not good, instead of me, even I know it is perfect, I'll say, okay, don't worry, I will change it and I'll do it better and give it to you. That is how I carry it forward. I don't say, no, it is good, okay, it is the best thing you have to do. I don't know what she is not liking. I have to listen to her. She is paying me money.
True.
I have to make sure when she's spending a lakh on a garment, she definitely has her own terms and conditions. We have to listen to them. No matter, even if you feel it is 100% perfect also, if she says the pink is not right, the purple is right, make her understand why the pink is right. You have to make her understand nicely. But still she is not convinced, then change it to purple and sell it off.
Okay, so the very evident thing which we saw in your collection was fashion accessories. You have actually worked separately for it, I think. So how do you balance? Or do you work separately for accessories?
Now, when I design a collection, I just figure it out how my models has to be, how the celebrity has to wear. There are celebrities, I'll tell you, like Tamannaah Bhatia during the Wedding Wow magazine thing. She'll ask me whether the hood is looking good up or down. There is Nandita Shweta, the moment she got ready for film, this hairstyle is good or this is good. So I have to be ready with everything. I should have a knowledge of hairstyle. I should have the knowledge of colors. I should have the knowledge of accessories. I have to answer to everything of that. I have to even answer whether this lipstick shade is good or this is good. So it's just not about the garment, guys. It's about everything. You have to win the heart of the people you work with. You just can't say, oh, I have designed the garment. It's not my job to do this, but do it. What's wrong? They are going to just get you more business and they're going to make you famous. Be ready to answer people. Bipasha Basu called me to her house. She's like,
wow.
Come to me, I want you at my place now. I have to go in the middle of the night. Yeah, what happened, Bipasha? No, Reshma, this is right. What do you think I should wear? This necklace or this? I said, Bipasha, this necklace is not going to go with the garment. That's how you have to convince them. So it is, you have to be ready to answer all this.
Tiring. Okay, so we take up the last question for this session. How do you balance your family and work life?
Okay, my family has a lot of problems with me because I have started all brands and I hardly get time. And my mom and all, when they are here, they come to meet me and all. They get fed up of me at times, I'll be very honest. And when I go to Bombay also, everybody is very fed up of me because I'll always have some of the other work meeting going on and all. But now I make sure that in a month, at least 1-2 days, I'll keep my mobile in silent mode and I'll just be answering on WhatsApp and I'll make sure I give that time to them. And nowadays, when I get time, as and when Sundays, I keep it for family. So I make sure that I do that. Now when I made a name, earlier it was not possible, guys. I used to work till 2 o'clock in the night also, 3 o'clock in the night also. There are days and nights I have worked. So without because I never had so much of work team. Today I have 100 people working. But earlier I started my career with one tailor who was a tailor and a master too. And that's how today I have a team of 100 people. So today there are lots of helping hands, but earlier it was not. So I was the person who was going and sitting and putting the labels, barcode, everything. So you have to do a lot of work. So everything will be ready.
Oh. All I can say, I don't know how to end this up, but capability and conviction, I think in my view, has come together in the form of Reshma Kuni, and it was a wonderful session. I think you stood undaunted in front of all the hurdles and difficulties that you had in life to come to this stage. I think you're a true inspiration, Reshma. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys. Thanks for having me here. Thanks for Mr. Vijay Kumar for calling me here.
Thank you, Reshma. Thank you. I'll be in touch with you. I require your support.
Yes, sir. Time for you, sir.
Always,
I am very fond of
always.
Mr. Vijay Kumar, and because of him, I'm there on this Vogue Institute live session. I'm very honest because I can never tell him. If I can never tell him. He has been a
Thank you. Thank you, Reshma.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Shweta. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Reshma, for sparing time. It was wonderful. I think I'm sure all the students and budding designers have had much to learn.
Yes.
Insightful it was. So thank you, Reshma, and thank you all the attendees for being with us.
Thanks,
hope
guys. I'm sure you're enjoying the show. The webinar with me, and best of luck. Thank you to all of you.
Thank you, Reshma. Hope we associate in future too. Thank you.
Bye. Bye. See you.
Bye. Bye. Thank you, attendees. Hope to see. So please join us tomorrow for the next session tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.